All right, guys, we're lifting the hair off the scalp by combing the hair and making sure that our clippers are actually able to run through the hair fairly easy. So here, I mean, as you guys can see, I'm basically breaking down all the bulk that's on the bottom half of my client's head. What this does here, just it allows me to be able to see exactly where I'm going to be cutting, and it'll actually make it a lot easier for me to fade once I break all this down. So right here, we're going to taper down the hairline just to make sure that whenever we get ready to come back and actually do the lineup, all the hair is laid down, everything is nice and neat, and we can go right in with our trimmers and start the lineup. With my custom FX Babblers clippers, I'm going at about an inch, and I'm just dropping this fade because, like I said, this is a drop fade. And we just want to make sure that everything is even. Try to make sure that line is as even as possible. We want to make sure that we finish the way that we start. So if we start the right way, we're going to make sure that we finish the right way. Here I'm putting my one guard on with the lever completely open, and I'm basically flicking out, attacking that line, flicking out. I'm trying to more so debulk that area so that we can get to that gradual blend that we're looking for. Going back in with the number one guard with the lever completely closed, I'm actually going to attack that next guideline that we created, otherwise known as the G2. And I'm just going around the head and just making sure that I completely take that line out so that moving on to the next step in this fade process will transition smoothly. So I'm combing the hair back down right here just to check for any type of imperfections, check for anything that I see that, I may need to fix or go back over. So as you guys can see, I'm trying to taper down this dark line here in the parietal ridge area, just so that I can actually come back in and fade that line back out, and it'll be a lot easier for me to make that transition and get that line out. With that same 0.5 guard, come back in. I'm actually pretty much doing a little bit of detail work here. And I just want to make sure that I catch every little imperfection that I'm able to catch or that I'm able to see. I'm going back around the head. This right here, I mean, it's going to take the majority of your time, and it pretty much just really depends on how perfect you want the haircut to be. Obviously, we're cutting for perfection, but obviously we know that, we're not all perfect. Yeah, so I'm just basically just taking my time with it and just making sure that I'm able to create a clean fade. And now to the fun part. So on the lineup, we want to make sure we start in the middle of the head. And what I typically do, I like to work my way over to the left. Once I get over to the left, I like to work my way back to the middle of the head just to make sure that that line is completely straight before I move on to the next step in the lineup process. Now I'm attacking what us barbers like to call sidebars, or some people call them goalposts, or whatever the case may be. But as you guys can see, when I'm actually lining up the sidebars, I'm actually keeping the clippers at an angle. I'm not going straight up and down. I'm just making sure that that line is going to be straight. The problem with going up and down whenever you're doing the sidebars is that whenever you look at the head from the front, if you don't go at an angle whenever you make that line, then the hairline is going to look off. It's just going to be off whenever you get done and you look at the hairline from the front. Now that the right side of the head is complete, we want to make sure that we match up the left side of the head and make sure that everything is symmetrical. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, working our way from the middle to the right and from the right back to the middle, just to ensure that that line is going to be completely straight and symmetrical. Going in with our sidebar here, remember we're going in at an angle and just trying to make sure that we're not digging into the hairline. We don't want to push back the hairline right here in this corner. So when attacking this curve, I like to make sure that I establish a line with the corner of my blade. And then I take that corner and I just basically make, pretty much like a C-cup or a half C or semicircle down the line to the sideburns. That allows me to be able to create that look that you see here in terms of the curve appeal. All right, guys, since we are on this side, we're starting at the top of the ear. I'm actually using my corners on down to using the full blade, moving down his neck. As you guys can see, I'm actually holding down the ear just to make sure that I don't clip his ear. It's very, very, very hard to stop the bleeding if you actually clip a client's ear. So we want to make sure that we avoid that issue. Here, I'm just cleaning up any of the loose, or excess hair that my client may have on his neck, just to make sure that we have a clean area there. Moving over to the other side, we're starting at the neckline and we're actually moving up slowly but surely and just making sure that we get this line as straight as possible. As we move up, as you can see, we're, like I said, grabbing the ear, making sure that we pin that ear down so that we can get behind the ear and create that curve. And like I said, we want to make sure that we don't clip that ear. That's very important. Once again, we're cleaning up the loose or excess hair just to make sure that we have a clean area and the fade can come out completely flawless. So my client has a lot of light vellus hair that's actually growing down his neck. So I just wanted to go ahead and clean that up and just kind of taper it out a little bit for him, just to make sure we give that fade a gradual blend in the nape area. All right, guys, so we are adding enhancements. I'm actually using the Kiss Temptation aerosol spray. I've had the compressor guns and stuff like that before, but just the maintenance and as far as cleaning those guns and stuff like that, it's just been a little bit too much maintenance for me. But to each his own. This is just a lot more efficient for me in terms of cleaning after doing my work and everything like that. So this works for me and I'm rocking with it. So here I'm just applying the Barber Magic pencil, and basically what this does is just enhances the line and it gives it that illusion of kind of like the ash mark that most people would have, but it just makes it pop. It makes the haircut pop once you put it on the hairline and you hit it with the clippers and everything, and it just gives it that effect of just a crispy lineup. So when doing our razor work, we want to make sure that we're stretching the skin, and we actually have the razor at a 45-degree angle. This is very important because what it does, it allows the blade and the razor to glide across the skin to be able to create that crispy line on the lineup. All right, guys, this is the finished product. If you guys like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, comment, and share. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, stop what you're doing, subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop all my latest videos. It's your boy DB Clips. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.